Well, this is the quickest video I've ever made. The Perseus is the choice. It's a $55 discount. Go with the Carrack. No, really, it's that simple today. There's no other real viable choices here. There's a bunch of concepts and the M2, which is significantly more, right? It's $100 versus the $20 Carrack. So really, it's just a Carrack. There you go. The same kind of minuscule changes occurred in the standalone ships. We've got some additions for the flight kits. I think they add the hammerhead or something, maybe. I don't even remember which one it is. I think the hammerhead might be new. They added the RSI concept ships to the store as well. So there you have that. And yeah, that's about it. No other discounts that I saw. And same starter packs still exist. So that's where we're at. We're still in a weird place. And, well, that's it, I guess. It's frustrating that there's this little to talk about with Warbond CCUs. It's been one a day, and it's going to continue to be one a day. So boring. I was really hoping for some excitement. But I'm still holding out a little bit of hopium for the final days to see if they do 2 or 3 or something. My guess is they are kind of looking at this, and they're probably tracking these dollars to see where they're at by the end. They're clearly way ahead this year. They've had a couple new ships out that really pushed them. They've had a couple new releases this year that really pushed them past the standard or the normal distribution of dollars for the first quarter for sure, which is frustrating because CCUs have been so meh, right? I was actually looking back through some data. I'm trying to get a really solid count and quantity and more information about kind of the CCUs that they've released throughout the years. I know 2016 and 17 were a huge year for CCUs, but a lot of them were like freebies. But then 2018 was okay, 2019 was okay, 2020 was okay. But then something changed. In 2021, there were only, again, based on my counts, I'm trying to get better data, but I'm going off of what I have now, right? So in 2021, there were 20 Warbond CCUs that were made available. I'm almost certain there were more than that, but that's the data I could get at this time. So grain of salt, of course, with all of this. It's not perfect math or science here. 2022 saw an increase to 37. 2023, 57. And 2024 was 58. So technically there was one more. But I think, from what I recall, 2024 had, 50% repeats, right? The options weren't there. Whereas 2018 through 2021, everything was different, right? There were no repeats. Maybe there was 1 or 2 repeats. From what again, using my old man memory here. But I remember 2024 was lackluster last year. There were only a couple new ones. New ships that were released had Warbonds, which was good. It brought the price closer back to concept pricing via CCU. Right, so that was good. 2023 gets a little hazy for me, 2022 as well. I think 22 may have been one of the better years that I remember for different Warbonds filling gaps. So they tried some things new, but now they're going down this other route of probably the same amount, the same quantity of Warbond CCUs throughout the year, but because we're at, I think, 13 now, I think we're at 13 at this point. It might be 14. As of today, we're probably at 14 because that's one more for May. But look, clearly this year they've done fewer CCUs that mattered to those of us that have been playing for a while, right? But they're making way more money. But look, we're the 18th of May, and we're almost to the same funding level that we were of the end of May 2024. So even though we're not getting the Warbond CCUs that we want, they're still making more money, which to me says that they could capitalize on the Warbond CCU market and make even more, but I don't know if that's the case. Maybe they saw metrics from 2020 through 2024 that showed them, hey, we're not really making that much off of Warbonds anyway. Let's start pushing out more new ships and vehicles. And it seems like their pipeline is way more efficient than it was pre-2022, right? They pushed out a bunch of ships. Tons of stuff has been coming out. And, well, maybe that's the reality. Maybe there's enough people that don't care about getting the discount, and they do care about just buying the damn ship outright because, I don't know, there's tons of people out there that confuse debt with cash and debt with money. So maybe that's the reality. I don't know. I know I make decent money, and I'm struggling to kind of keep putting in, $100 a year into this hobby. So I don't know. But I don't do the whole debt thing. Like, I don't want to turn this into some financial discussion, but I know a lot of people don't have the money that they used to have, and there's a lot of people that are using debt to maintain the lifestyle that they used to live. And I hope that's not the case with anybody that's watching this channel. I hope you're all, spending your entertainment money wisely, hopefully on something that you enjoy. But look, money doesn't lie, and they're making way more money based on a monthly graph here than they were last year. Although they made way more money in May of last year. So that's also telling. It's like, hey, each month they made more money compared to nearly every other year, right? Like January, February only compares to back in 2022. 2022 was a good year, even though there was lots of bugs and whatnot that sucked. But like that's comparable. And then March was way more. April was about the same, but May is way less. However, by the time we get to the end of the May, I bet we're going to be halfway through, June's numbers here at 50 million or something. So I don't know. I don't know how to convince anybody from SIG that's watching my videos to say, hey, maybe we should, throw the CCU gamers a bone or something, because that's the game I like playing when I'm spending money. I've only outright bought one ship. Well, two ships technically, right? I gave away the C1 as a giveaway gift to viewers, and that was out of my own pocket. That was not given to me by SIG. And then my starter package, which I bought, I think, in 2019 or something. So those are the only two ships I've ever bought outright for this game. All of my other spend, and I haven't hit concierge is what they call it when you hit $1,000. I haven't hit concierge yet. So I don't know. I don't know how to convince them. Maybe the CCU game is going away. Maybe they don't need the CCU game anymore because people are just buying the ships outright. I don't know. Maybe spread the word. Maybe more people need to see. That's the thing. Should I keep telling people about the CCU game when it's clear that it's not even close to being as good as it was 4 years ago? Right? 2021, literally 2020 through 2023-ish, 2022 for sure, was great for the CCU game. That was like the heyday. I think 2019 maybe was when they had even like the 300i or the 100i in a war bond. Like that was good. Now it's really tough. Like there haven't been hardly any that get people from a starter ship to like the $100 mark, right? It's been very difficult. There's been very few. And after you get to like the Cuddy Black or so, there's been plethora up to, I don't know, like $150, $160, right? And then you've got sort of a mix of some good ones, some bad ones. And then you get to like the 250 range, and then there's a couple, and then it's like everybody goes through the A2 if they're going higher than the A2, right? Like there's only a couple ways to get to those higher ships now. And I mean the whole, I don't know, $50 to $100 range kind of at the beginning is really just empty. It's void. So it's almost like they're trying to front load that guaranteed dollar amount up front with either, because a lot of people were getting the free starter ships that they're using with LTI, right? The Dragonflies and the Nox, etc., right? Even a Steve way back when. So I think people have gotten enough of those, and then they're intentionally leaving about a $50 gap to get from that ship to something else, 50 to almost 100 actually, if you think about how few have been offered in that range. So, and look, this is probably why they're making enough money that they don't actually need the CCU game to get people playing at a lower dollar rate like me. Like I said, I haven't hit Concierge yet, even though I've been playing the CCU game since I think 2015 or 16. And then I didn't even pledge in until 2019, right before the year that changed everything, 2020, right? So I don't know. I think this may be why they're making enough money without great CCUs for us. So I'm definitely going to keep you guys posted if anything changes. I know that there's also changes to the reward system that are coming. So what's that, July 1st, I think? We'll find out more then. We don't really know much about it. We don't know where the tiers are, what the dollars are, how they're going to change things, right? Are we going to be able to use secondary accounts to earn those reward points? I just don't know. None of that information has been released. There is this thing by Xylo. I don't know how informational it is, but it's really sparse. It's just like, hey, it's changing. July 1st is the date. If you're in the middle, in between two referrals, well, you're kind of hosed. If you look here on mine, I'm like halfway through this particular tier to get the Glaive. So I'm at 149. I need to get to 200, or these 49 here are basically wasted, which is unfortunate. And this is what most people are outraged about. If you read through that thread that I was showing earlier, the new reward system for referrals, most of the frustration is like, hey, I'm halfway between the, 1024 and 2017. I'm at like, whatever the numbers are. I'm at 1,500 or whatever. I'm wasting like a bunch of people that I've pulled in. I'm not some streamer. Like you look at my channel, guys. I have like 1,500 people watching this thing that have subscribed. I'm not some huge YouTuber, right? I don't get a lot of these referrals through YouTube. In fact, most of these referrals I got pre-YouTube channel. I've only gotten probably 20 or so since I started doing YouTube. So most of that came through hard work, trying to bring people in through online chats, other games, friends of friends of friends kind of thing. And I brought them into this game, and I tried to make them very fully aware that this is absolutely an alpha test, right? This game is an alpha test. If you enjoy it on a good patch day, of course, if it's enjoyable for you, then spend the money. Don't burn money just because I say I like it, or because you see the promise of the future, which is what most of us are holding on to at this point, right? I really tried to convince them to not just, hey, give me your referral number and, I don't care if you play. I try to make sure that they wanted to keep playing regardless, or that they just wanted to fund the thing in the first place, right? I suppose that's a different kind of notion. Like when I was growing up, we didn't fund video games. You know what I mean? We didn't have Kickstarter. We didn't have Kickstarter growing up. Just gumption and bootstraps. So yeah, like I'm not saying it was a lot of hard work, but it's not like I have 80,000 people watching every one of my videos and 1% of them signed up every time I made a video, right? I'm just saying it's easier for somebody like a morphologist, or any of those other larger YouTube guys that do happen to cover Star Citizen. So like some of those guys have like 7,000. I think where's the thing here? There's a ranking ladder. Check this out. So if we look at this ranking ladder, look at this. Morphologist, right? 18,000. So after 2017 RPs, recruit points, 2017, he gets nothing for the other 16,000. I mean, I don't know. the problem is they did this, right? More levels to be revealed. Help the growing community. That's exactly what every single one of these guys has done, right? Every single one of these guys has helped expand the possibilities for people coming into the verse and paying into this game and keeping it funding, right? Sure, I've done some, but I'm not even close to these guys in like viewer counts, right? But they've done a lot. Should they be rewarded to some extent? Yeah, because they said more levels to be revealed. Like, something needs to happen with anything for any of those that are in the middle. And I think there's this. This was a discussion that came up. This guy makes a lot of sense. This is what a lot of us thought initially. Is like, okay, well, anything that's in between one of those ranks, just give us those for the new solution, right? Like, well, where'd it go? Right, so Morphologist, he would basically get everything for free for the next one. Actually, all these guys would. Every single one of these would get it free. Look, they're making money off of YouTube and ads, right? So it's not like this is a one-way street. They're only bringing in people to the game and they're getting nothing out of it. But at the same time, it's like, come on, these guys have been around for long enough. They've built up a viewing population that keeps pushing people back towards this game, for better or worse, right? Like, I get it. Like, I'm pretty critical of how things happen sometimes, but I'm still a fanboy. Like, duh. But again, I've never been sponsored by SIG or anything, so, I mean, take it for what you will. But these guys have been around a lot longer, and they've got thousands of people that have signed up because of them. And that means, like, each one of these is, what, a bare minimum of $35 or something that they've brought into SIG? So, 45? I'm trying to think of the discount you get. I think you used to be able to buy a package for $35, right? For the Aurora or something? Maybe? Or is it 40? I think it's $40. Maybe it was 40. I'm wrong. It was 40. It's at least $40 because that was what the stipulation is. So anyway, that's where I'm at, right? And I want to get here before July 1st. So we'll see if that happens. But I get why people are frustrated about it. It's not a great way to do it, especially when you said, hey, this has been here since forever. More levels to be revealed. That's why these guys kept doing it their way and kept their referral code out there, didn't cycle through another one or whatever, right? They could have like 3 accounts maxed out. Like, if they had done it that way. I mean, that's probably how I would have done it because I like to game systems, but they kept it all in one account. And they didn't do the gaming because they were supposed to get more levels revealed eventually. And instead of doing that, they're basically discounting all these folks that have way more than 2017 points. So that's where the frustration there lies. But anyway, there's way more frustrations to go around. Like, I know there's been a lot of talk about the whole the blade kit thing. There's frustration on my part for the CCU game. There's frustration on the part of people that have been waiting on ships for 10 years, and we seem to be getting brand new ships created through a pipeline before, something like the Banner Merchantman gets produced. Or the Kraken, look, there's tons of ships that still haven't been produced that the Vulcan has been around for, 8 years? Maybe longer. Maybe the Vulcan was another long one, older one. But there's tons of ships that they still haven't produced, and they keep cranking out these new ships just to meet quotas or something, and it's really frustrating. So anytime something blows up like this, people are going to complain and vent their frustrations, and rightfully so. Especially this one. Like, I get both sides of the argument, though. It's like, what is level cap or Morphologist really going to get out of the new system when I think this number is still growing for both of them, right? Maybe not. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to other people's numbers here. But maybe they're not growing. Maybe they stopped growing. I don't know. But they should get something out of it. And I think they are getting something out of it. They've built a YouTube channel off of it, right? I think out of these folks, I think Level Cap and Ollie maybe for sure aren't specifically just dedicated to Star Citizen, right? Maybe Morphologists too. These guys do other things too, I'm sure. I only do the CCU game, so clearly I'm not going to have this level of scope. But anyway, I get why some people are pissed, I guess, is what I'm saying. But I think the new rewards are going to be cool. I just got to figure out how they're actually going to implement it, because this doesn't tell us anything from Xylo. This doesn't really tell us what the tiers are. It doesn't tell us what's going to be on each of the tiers. It doesn't even tell us how we're going to get the tiers. Like, are they going to change it so you can't use those secondary accounts? If that's the case, they're going to get even less money out of people like me, who are cheap, who watch my expenses, who have a specific budget for entertainment that they kind of allocate. Sure, they're going to get people that have plenty more money than me, or people that, again, work off of debt instead of money. But for me, I mean, if this kind of thing goes away, I don't know how much time I'm going to still be able to dedicate to bringing in new folks, right? Sure, I put the thing in my description where I give you my code now, but again, since I started putting that in, I think I've only gotten about 20. So it's not that effective. Most of the time, because people are playing the CCU game, they already have accounts, right? And when you guys create a second account, you're using it for yourself to get yourself the rewards to build up to get through at least the first couple stages here, right? I bet a lot of you got to Gladius. So, I mean, 10 accounts, I mean, that's $400. Could have just bought a Gladius, but you're also getting other free ships out of it too, right? Like, that's the thing. You most likely completed those account $40 increments around times when they were giving away something like a Nox or a Dragonfly or a Steve or something like that, right? A lot of hover quads too. I think there's like 3 or 4 hover quads. I think the hover quads was the most given away referral reward. But anyway, I mean, you still got something out of it. And if I bet a lot of people got up to Gladius. It's tough to get past Gladius, and some of them are useless. Like, these 2 things are relatively useless. It's just for Arena Commander. I have these as loaners in game, but if it's a loaner, you know it's going away. You didn't get all these ships. You just got them for Arena Commander, which is fine. I know it still serves a purpose, but I don't really do Arena Commander. I'm in the verse, and eventually I'll be in Squadron 42 as the separate game that it is. But this one's good. This is a very useful ship, right? Both of these are usable. I actually have built chains with these 2 vehicles, as well as the Gladius, although I'm not sure. I may keep the Gladius, right? I may just keep that. But anyway, that's where this thing is. I know people are frustrated by it, and I'm patient enough to wait instead of just throwing up my hands and saying F you and not caring anymore. Because, look, if they do get the feedback and they take the feedback and they take it seriously, they're probably going to do something like what this gentleman suggested. They're probably going to give, they're just to be clear also, they're not taking away all the rewards people have earned. What they're doing is they're disregarding anything over and above and beyond the last reward you achieved, right? So again, like for Morphologist, he got up to the Javelin. He's got his own freaking Javelin, for crying out loud. Okay? But anything after this is 16,000 or so, just over 16,000 referrals that are effectively, I don't want to say wasted. That's the wrong term. But they're not contributing to his ladder, right? They're not contributing to his rewards, and they will never contribute to his rewards because they're not giving you more levels. They're changing the game. I think that's the biggest frustration every single time with Star Citizen. They're continually changing the game, and you're pissing somebody off, right? They've pissed off somebody on every single one of their changes. Master modes, for instance. They pissed off a lot of people, and quite frankly, I'm not sure it really solved what they were trying to achieve. They said they needed to slow things down, and it's like, okay, but everybody still dogfights the same way. Like, you're still doing jousting and or circular maneuvering. It's not like it's never, because of how they've set up the gameplay, it's never going to be like, what's a good example? Oh, like I think Obi-Wan gets chased by Jango Fett once in one of the movies, in one of the Star Wars movies, right? Remember that? And like that sort of thing would not be possible within the game mechanics that Star Citizen has. I think that'd be way cooler, but that's not the way it's set up, right? It's set up to mimic different mechanics, I suppose. But anyway, I don't think that Master Modes really solved that. And quite frankly, Master Modes, if somebody has the right combination, then there's no way for some hauler that doesn't care about PvP to ever escape somebody who's focused on PvP with a small crew of like 3 ships. Like, that guy's toast. And when you stack it that heavily, I just don't think that that's, with as many people as you frustrated with Master Modes and to not solve the problem, I don't think that's the way to go, especially when you make it very difficult for certain people to kind of play how they expected to play for so long. So that was just another example of them changing something drastically for no real change in the actual game mechanics. Like, if they change this and everything else stays the same, you can still do secondary accounts, then what have they achieved but pissing people off that have actually brought them a significant amount of cash? Like, again, if you multiply these out just in total, we're like 20, 30, 45, 52,000 people at a minimum of $40. Man, that's some serious cash. And these are just the top 5. You've probably got, if you did the top 100, I bet there's still all of them. I bet all the top 100 are still over like 5,000, maybe not 5,000, probably over 3,000, right? And you get the whole list all the way down to me. I don't even know what my ranking is. Does it give me my rank? It doesn't give me my rank. I don't have a rank. Does it? It doesn't say my rank, does it? It just says how many I've given, right? So I thought it used to say my rank somewhere. My bad. I'll try and find it. Anyway, but again, I've done, 149? Where was that number? Was it on the other page? I think it was on the other page. Yeah, it was 149. I'm pretty sure. So at 149, I'm nearly certain I don't make the top 100 list. I probably don't make the top 1,000 list, right? But I've still contributed. So anyway, this is one way to piss people off, I suppose. The other one is the blade kits that they put behind a paywall. Like, eventually they're going to be in games, so I don't get the frustration there. Maybe people didn't get time to test them out in Evocati or something. I don't know what the hubbub is about the whole paywall thing and pay to win for the kits. I don't get that. If anybody can give me a quick explanation as to why there's so much uproar about the kits being behind a paywall, like every other new thing that they release until it hits the in-game stores, I just help me understand that. Maybe it feels like I'm missing something, right? So, yeah, if somebody could help walk me through that so I understand it, that would be very, very helpful to me, because I don't get the frustration. I don't know. What else are we? Where's the Invictus stuff here? All right. So anyway, getting back to the CCU stuff, since I've ranted on for I don't even know how long at this point. Today and yesterday was RSI. Tomorrow's going to be Origin. Is tomorrow Origin? Okay, so yesterday and today we've got RSI, Argo, and Origin. So I guess go check those out. Again, when you put 3 companies on the specific dates of Invictus and you only have a single Warbond CCU, it doesn't even make sense with the past context of CCUs and events. So yeah, I'm frustrated about this one. Anywho, Monday and Tuesday, it looks like we're going to have Mirai, Misk, and CO. And then I bet we're going to have, let's see if I can guess what the war bond will be on the 19th, on Monday. I hope they surprise me and do something new with maybe something on a Reliant series. Give us a war bond on Reliant. How about that? And then Tuesday, which would be the 20th, let's guess here. There's not enough COs. They're never going to do a CO. I highly doubt they will ever do a CO war bond. I suppose the only ship they could do that would meet their current criteria would be the Nomad, but that would surprise me. It would surprise me if they ever did that. What do you got, Mirai? Maybe the QI version of the Guardian. Yeah, maybe. Or maybe they'll do the Mist TAC again, the TAC or something. One of the other new Star Lancers. I don't know. Yeah, I bet they do a Star Lancer. I would really like a surprise, though, on one of the Reliants. That would be cool. Anyway, moving on. Crusaders probably going to be the A2 again. It would be cool if they did the C2, because they've done the C1 and the A1 and all the spirits often enough. If somebody needs a spirit, then I hope that you get that, because they're not going to do anything for Tumbril. Don't expect anything from a Tumbril. I know. We would love those. That would be amazing, because that price point doesn't exist for war bonds. What else do we got here? 23rd, 24th, Anvil. Yeah, they'll probably give us something inconsequential. Maybe they'll release the... we'll see. Drake Day, of course. Who knows? Hopefully they'll do another screw up like they did on the Ironclad Assault. That would be great. They give us a Caterpillar for like $50 off. That would be awesome. And then the finale is way back down here on the 26th and 27th. Who knows? I really hope that they step up the game during the finale, right? Do 4 or 5. I mean, it's 2 days, right? So do 2 or 4 Warbond CCUs somewhere between, I don't know, a $5 off $30 vehicle would be fantastic, right? And then do something at like the $45 to $65 range, both days. Come on, that'd be awesome. And then after that, it's all done, said and gone. I would recommend going here on this 27th to rent whatever ships you want. Usually they make them all available, and there you go. Wow, what a winding road we took today. I apologize. I don't even know how long this video is at this point, but I hope you stayed around to the end, because I like it when people listen to all my complaining, because nobody does it at home. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I will see you again tomorrow. Zi-Tek, out.